Hey y'all. So we are here tonight to talk about our cruise. Y'all bear with us with this camera set up, but we are gonna do what it do.
Tell him your name.
I'm sorry, I'm Michelle Pointer.
And I'm Alvin the Man Pointer.
Oh, see, just doing too much. So, as y'all know, we went on a cruise for Valentine's Day, and we shared a few. We shared a few clips of how that went, but um, we were gonna talk about how it went, and we've traveled a lot together since we've been married. A little bit over 3 years. We've been a lot of different places. We've been to Florida before, but we actually rode to Florida in a van with family. We went to Branson. We've been to
Chicago.
Chicago, Memphis. We've been a lot of different places. That's not why we're here. So, but this time was different, and
Why was it different?
because it was our first plane ride, it was your first cruise,
Okay.
and I think the one thing I want to say though is that we travel with family all the time. We travel with our kids, stuff like that. But anytime we travel with just us, I think is different just because we maneuver around at home a lot, but then when you go out of town, you sometimes in a place that you've never been. And so it's an adjustment, not a big adjustment, but there it definitely is one. So what I like to say is that when we travel, it builds our relationship independence. Meaning that you learn how to survive with just y'all, like no crutches, anything like that. It's just y'all. And so you really have to use the um, communication that you work so hard to keep between y'all. What you think?
Um. Yes, I do believe it creates an independence because um we love our family to the end, but then it's just some things that we have to um say if you know you ain't got backup things that you learn you gonna have to do by yourself or how you gonna maneuver through that just in case. But the whole trip, it was great to me. It was a win. Like I like that we were alone, not just what can I say, romantically. It was another achievement for the
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, like, cause we went to Memphis was a drive, but we rode just us, and we went to Memphis, and we did well with that. But a cruise was something that I always did at least once a year before we got married, and I shared that with him. And we were actually going to take a trip to Florida, but my husband suggested, well, if we going to Florida anyway, we might as well get on a cruise. So that's how we got on a cruise. So I will be honest. Whoo, child. When I knew I had to put all of this stuff into place to get us to, getting a plane and stuff like that, like my anxiety was building up because I was kind of like fearful because I have never had to do it to that magnitude before, meaning that um, I know my husband trusts me, but I want him to always feel um, safe, and you have to understand that, like, if you are in a situation to where you don't have your vision, like, trust is huge. You have to be able to trust the person that you with. And I know that he trusts me, but like for me, it was like, okay, here you have this responsibility, and your job is to get from point A to point B and to get y'all there safely. Like, my husband is my protector, and I remember something happened, not nothing major, but something happened on the trip, and I mean, just like any other husband, his instincts to kick me and protect me uh took place right away. But that doesn't take away from the fact that if we're traveling, I need to make sure that with my vision, like, everything is good. Like, it's something as small as if you finna sit in this chair in this particular location, this area, like, I have to be on. And so I would say that I don't know, could you tell I was kind of like Like trying to make sure everything was pop, pop, pop. Like I was trying to just like not do that, but it's like,
Did I notice that? Yeah, you can. I noticed, and
like what? What was I doing?
you kind of like when we had first got on the ship, you was kind of like you wasn't really acting yourself. You was kind of like you was like, okay, stop that corner right there. Okay, we're gonna go up steps. Something like 1, 2, 3 steps. It was kind of like and
Could
like.
you imagine me getting back over there, Michelle? What you laughing to Hooey? You know what I'm saying? I would tell you like,
but she wasn't acting herself. She finally kind of let go, but then she was because all of this was um it was new to her with getting around because like she said before it's more it's simple. It's not really it's not challenging to get around home, getting around St. Louis, somewhere
mm-hmm.
you're familiar with. But when it's something that you're taking on for the first time, you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna make sure that when he go out here to the pool, that he don't step in no water. And everybody know I've been around water before. Yeah.
But no, like it. Okay, so like when you around stuff that you have been around before, you know that if I go in the hallway, when I get to the end of the hallway, I'm gonna have to make a right to get to the couch and make a left to get to the front door. You know that. Well, on a cruise ship, this is foreign.
Right. So it might surprise her when she get around. Oh, it's the couch right there.
But I mean, like, I know I know what's next. I know, like, okay, if we going over here by the Lido deck, excuse me, that it may get a little slick right there. Like, I know that. So I know, like, I have to prepare that now for me, and I have to prepare for you. Like, I have to let you know, like, this is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's back up. Did we even talk about like the airplane?
No, we didn't talk about this yet. But before I forget about this, now this what may have been I'll say difficult. Now when you're in
Let me get some water while you're talking. Go ahead, sir. Keep talking. You good?
that wasn't quite the same. But when you're in the situation that I'm in or any other situation, you have to be careful of your attitude. It might not even come off as an attitude, but you have to be careful of the way that you may say something to somebody, that your voice isn't too vulgar. You may not be mad, but you may come off as mad at somebody else. So instead of me like
what? You mean like getting like a little frustrated with certain things?
Yeah. Like I can't because maybe I tripped over a cord or something.
Yeah.
I can't say, "Dang, baby, you ain't see that cord?" I gotta kind of like take a breath and be like, "Well, I'm sure she didn't try and do that on purpose."
Yeah.
And that's like with anything. Like even in St. Louis, if I was to hit a corner or something, and that's what her, that's what anybody else, it's kind of like I can't take the attitude role first. I gotta use their personality, their understanding. Like if they knew this was gonna happen, they didn't do this on purpose. I know that that's what it is. So I just wanted to say that before I forgot about it. Go ahead. No, airplane.
I mean, and that's like a perfect same saying that because that's like when we got on the airplane. I'm like, okay, cool. You grab my book bag, we walk through here. That's another thing to do. We keep a book bag, makes everything easier. But anyway, so we walking through the little, you know the little plane, the little, the little seats is tight.
Right.
Trying to get through there, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. We right here between one A and B. I said, okay, I'm gonna go in. Then you gonna come in, you slide over. Well, Michelle, you forgot the door thing that you put your luggage in. Is low. So you forgot to say, Cooley, watch your head. Just little bitty stuff like that.
That thing hit me like I owe this some money or something, boy.
And I looked and I was like, I'm sorry. But it just, I think that's why I'm so grateful.
You can't do nothing but laugh about it.
That's what I'm saying. I think that I am so grateful that we have such a healthy marriage, thank God. And then not only that, we laugh at like everything. And I think it's because he knows that I'm never gonna do anything intentionally to hurt him. And I'd be like, oh God, baby, I'm so sorry. Because I didn't get that. But then I have to be easy on myself too. Like he's saying that he has to be like to know that you didn't do it on purpose. Chill out, ain't a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that was good. I did tell my husband that he had me in VIP access all weekend. I said we sit on the plane, right? And so, any if you have need any assistance or anything like that, you first aboard, baby. So when we finally got around to doing it, I said, "Hey, Cooley, you straight up had me living like VIP like the whole weekend. I'm up there like we bored and sitting down waiting on everybody else. We top flight, but it's just making humor out of everything, and just being able to be understanding and relatable, things like that. It was a lot to, I think, for us. But I'm so proud of us because we ain't argue about nothing. We just kept tackling it and tackling it and tackling it. And we had an awesome time. I think that it was worth it. Like, I just can't wait to do that again. But I think that now we got a system. Like, we know how we want to do stuff now. Right. Like, we was outside. We caught a lift. We got on the shuttle. Like, I'm proud of us because most people would have allowed the circumstance to hinder them and allow fear to set in and just be like, no, we can't do that. Matter of fact, I'll tell you how you do stuff for yourself. Don't ever let nobody take their experiences, push it off on you and make you feel like you can't do something. Like even when he was telling just coworkers that been on a cruise before, and you have some people like, oh man, I've been on a cruise when I had my vision after I lost it, and I think I had a better time after I lost it. But then you had negative Nancy, oh, you're not gonna enjoy it. Did you go back and tell her you enjoyed it? Never mind. The point being made is do stuff for yourself and learn for yourself what you like. Now, when we got on the cruise, everything was great. But yeah, I was so tired of walking up and down hallways. And I know Cooley was sick of me because I felt like, I'm like, okay, baby, now we got the elevator broke. So we're going to have to go up these steps. You're going to go up 5 steps. You're going to make a little turn.
When we first got on the cruise, after we got done eating, we went to our room. I think I went down like 9 flights. I was walking. I said, what floor are we on? He said, let me look at it. 2239. And we like on floor 7 at this time.
But if you had to give it a review.
Huh? It wasn't that bad. It just.
No, I mean like the whole trip altogether.
The trip altogether? It would still be the same. It wasn't that bad. It was
no, like vacation wise. You've been to Gatlinburg. You've been to other parts of Florida. You've been to Tennessee, Kentucky. I think we've been to Kentucky, through Kentucky, something. We've been a lot of different places. So if you had to take a vacation, would a cruise be a vacation you want
to take? Yeah.
Do you think you want to do more than the time that we did? We only did 3 days because that's the most. We wanted to try it out because I've been on the cruise up to 7 days, but we didn't do that because we wanted to try this out first to see how we like it.
I think I'm pretty cool with 3. I might add 4 in there.
Okay, look at you. Look at me.
I talked to my wife about it because she been on 14 and all that.
Boy, I'm not going on 14 days.
But nah, I talked to her. She's like, the more destinations you go to, the more time you will see. And then, but I guess that would be the thing is you just sitting there, you ain't really going nowhere. You just whatnot in. But the one thing that I did like about it, I tell everybody I like that. It was a cool atmosphere. Everybody was there to just um, pretty much relax.
Yeah.
And I did like that. Just like you stay in a hotel or wherever you staying, you didn't have the freedom just like I'm finna go.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get off like that. And then it was like, and they had different activities that was going on. They had trivia, they had concerts, they had karaoke. They had you go up to the pool, you could go play basketball, you could walk around the track, you could eat food, you could just chill in your room. It was a whole bunch of different, a whole lot of stuff going on. But I think I would say the coolest event probably was I would give that Super Bowl a 10
Oh
because
yeah.
you didn't know anybody at that Super Bowl, but everybody was cheering like
Yeah, I knew
they
each
was
other.
at their house
Yeah.
and like y'all had been cool for 20 years.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, my perspective, a lot of times when I'm on a cruise, and we're almost done, we're not going to talk long, guys. Um, Whenever I'm on a cruise, like, of course, I'm seeing stuff and enjoying things visually. Um, so, like, I'm on a cruise and I might say, oh my God, look out, the water is beautiful. Or um, just something like that. What would you say was like how would you say you was able to relate to different things, or like what stood out like the most memorable thing other than the Super Bowl party? Like how did you enjoy and take in the stuff that I might have seen visually but you had to experience with your other senses?
I would say most of the time you would and sometimes you don't know you're doing it, but like sometimes um you would explain what's going on, but you wouldn't have to say, Cooley over there, it's a girl over there with a red dress on and the sun is like right here. It'd just be like we'd be walking, you'd be like, oh baby, it's so beautiful out here, like the sun is like there and then
That's
like
how
the
I talk.
sun is
That's how I talk.
when you having a good time. But I think my the sound that I love the most is like sometimes when I wasn't just like sleepy or maybe it'll wake me up at night, but I like to hear like the water at night when it was calm and then like it would hit the ship or whatnot. I like the sound of the water and you'd be like, man, it's all this water out here. And then I'm gonna take y'all to church for a minute. You'd be like, they say God got all this water in the palm of his hand. Come on, stop playing with God. Come on, we get on.
So we just wanted to give y'all a feedback. So yeah, it was different things that were challenging, just with anything that you would experience. But I think overall, I'm proud of us, and we did that, and we're gonna do it again. Like you cannot allow other people's fear, hangups, and unbelief stop you from doing something that you want to do. Stop you from venturing off, stop you from living, because they're not choosing to live. So you have to go forward and do the things that you want to do and what's best for your life, your relationship, your marriage. And I think that I'm grateful to God that I did go through with it. I'm grateful that my husband encouraged me the entire way. But we got this, you got this, baby, we got this. And then we were patient with each other. And I think that we just really learned a lot. We did. I think we learned a lot. And I'm like so proud of the whole thing, the whole trip, the plane. I get done with one thing, like, did that. Okay, we did that. We on this plane, babe. We here. We straight on the cruise. We did, y'all, but it was awesome, and I'm just grateful to God for that. And I just want to take a minute to say that I am so very proud of my husband.
Thank you. I would just like to take this minute out to say y'all what was so funny. Now this was so funny. I think we had like a couple of minutes. We had got off the airplane, then we had to get to the next um where the next airplane was at. We only had like a few. I think that was when we had got to Charlotte and we had to go to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife got out. We got off the plane. So she's like, we got 14 minutes to get over here, and I don't know where this one is at. What they say, B7? I don't know where B7 is. So we jogging through the airport trying to find us where it's going on. Then she asking the people who work there, where's B7 at? And then we went over their way, and she said, that is not B7 is over here. And we was like kind of scattering through there, but we back here in St. Louis, so we made it.
So what's the Bible saying? But you know what? One thing when I was packing my stuff before we left, we said a prayer, and then it was so funny because I said, Cooley, I said, we gonna go and we gonna handle this stuff and we gonna be able to do it. I said a small prayer, and I just was like, every time we did something, I was just checking it off because it was a huge thing, you know. But I think that we needed that.
Yeah.
I think we needed that.
Yeah, I know I needed it because she had a lot of commentary that she didn't like. She'd be talking and she don't even know it. Now the first thing that happened, first thing out the gate, we got to the airport like what time we get there? Like 4 in the morning.
Yes,
we got there, and we supposed to get on the plane at 6. Okay, so we got checked in, checked our bags in, went through security and everything. So we walking finna go sit down and wait to board the plane. So all I hear is, I know you lying. And I'm like, what you talking about? They said our flight guy, it's gonna be delayed to 12 o'clock. So I'm sitting on here, I'm thinking, we finna sit in this airport at 12 o'clock. So all she say is, here, cool, sit right here, I'll be right back. Never really like to hear them words because she finna get something handled. So she come back and all she says to me, come on, Willie, we gotta get on this plane. So I'm like, last time I heard, we supposed to get on this plane. What's going on? So we walking and we talking. See, God worked in this. We getting out. The lady, she didn't got on the computer, and we getting on the plane earlier than what we supposed to be getting on. Come on, let's go.
I did, and I said what I'm gonna do is anything I don't know, I'm gonna ask questions. And baby, I asked a lot of questions, and we figured that mess out, and we had an awesome vacation because of that. So I think that's it. We'll come back again if we have something else to say, but we just want to fill y'all in on our vacation. You got something you want to say so we can close out?
Huh?
You got something you want to say so we can close out?
Stay on point with the pointers.
All right, y'all. I hope this was somewhat informative, at least filled you in, and we'll talk to you later.
Stay tuned for the next vacation.
Holla.